Niara had never known weakness. For millions of years, she had been an unwavering force in the galaxy, a manifestation of her people's will. The Zephyrians, her kind, were timeless beings of energy, tasked with maintaining balance across the universe. They wielded power so vast that entire civilizations trembled at the mere whisper of their name. Yet their methods were ruthless. If a world failed to meet their standards of harmony and progress, it was marked for cleansing its existence erased to prevent further disruption to the cosmic equilibrium. Earth was her latest assignment. The planet spun below her as she hovered in orbit, her energy field glowing like a second sun. From this vantage, it looked like so many others she had judged before, a blue and green jewel, vibrant but fragile. Her orders were clear: destroy it. The humans had squandered their potential, filling their world with division, greed, and endless conflict. The Council of Zephyrians, the collective consciousness that governed her actions, had declared them a danger to the universal order. Niara's descent was cataclysmic. She entered Earth's atmosphere like a blazing comet, her form surrounded by a corona of light and fire. The skies above the valley split open, the ground trembling beneath her arrival. Animals fled in terror. And across the globe, sensors picked up anomalous readings, energy signatures beyond anything humanity had ever encountered. Within hours, news of her arrival spread like wildfire, sparking panic, awe, and speculation. Governments scrambled to respond. Fighter jets were scrambled, weapons systems aimed, and scientists frantically tried to make sense of the readings. But nothing could have prepared them for what came next. Niara landed in a remote valley, her presence igniting the air around her. Her form was humanoid, though her glowing, translucent body radiated an otherworldly aura. Her eyes were twin stars, and her voice, when she spoke, echoed with the weight of eternity. She was a being of destruction, and yet there was no malice in her expression, only cold, unfeeling duty. The first step of the cleansing began as always. Niara extended her consciousness into the planet's core, assessing its structure. Her energy tendrils began to unravel the magnetic fields that held the Earth's tectonic plates in place, initiating the slow but irreversible collapse of its stability. It was routine, a process she had enacted countless times before. But then, something unexpected happened. As her energy spread through the planet, it intersected with the dense web of human technology. The electromagnetic signals of satellites, radio waves, and digital transmissions cascaded into her consciousness. At first, they were chaotic, a jumble of noise and light. But as her mind adapted, she began to make sense of them. Images, sounds, and emotions flooded her being, a torrent of humanity's collective existence. She saw wars and atrocities, greed and destruction. But alongside them, she saw acts of selflessness, love, and perseverance. She witnessed people risking their lives for strangers, parents comforting their children, and communities rebuilding after devastation. She heard music that spoke of hope and sorrow, and she watched stories that celebrated the triumph of the human spirit. One broadcast stood out: a young girl in a war-torn village, standing amidst the rubble. Her clothes were tattered, and her face was streaked with dirt, but her eyes burned with defiance. "Even if everything is taken from us," the girl said, her voice trembling but strong, "we'll rebuild. That's what we do. We don't give up." Something within Niara shifted. For the first time in eons, she hesitated. Her people had long abandoned emotions, deeming them a weakness. But as she absorbed the depth of humanity's experiences, fragments of her own forgotten past resurfaced. Memories of her life before she became an agent of the Council. She had once been a protector, not a destroyer. Her kind had not always been harbingers of judgment, they had once nurtured fledgling civilizations, guiding them toward enlightenment. Proceed, the Council's collective voice thundered in her mind. Their presence loomed, vast and oppressive, demanding her compliance. But Niara could not. "This world is not what you think it is," she replied, her voice trembling with uncharacteristic emotion. "There is something here, something worth preserving." The Council's response was immediate and unyielding. "Your purpose is not to question. Your purpose is to act." Niara's energy flared as she fought against the Council's influence, severing the mental link that bound her to their will. The backlash was severe, leaving her weakened and vulnerable. She was no longer the omnipotent force she had been mere moments ago. She was alone, an exile. For the first time, she felt fear. But there was no time to dwell on it. The Council would not tolerate her defiance. They would send others, more Zephyrians, to complete the task she had abandoned. Earth's destruction was now inevitable unless she found a way to stop it. Niara descended into humanity's midst, revealing herself to a group of scientists and leaders. At first, they feared her, mistaking her for the bringer of their doom. But her actions spoke louder than words. She shielded a coastal city from a devastating tsunami, stabilized a collapsing fault line, and neutralized a rogue asteroid that threatened the planet. Slowly, trust began to form. Over the following months, Niara worked alongside humanity, learning their ways and helping them prepare for the coming conflict. She marveled at their ingenuity, their ability to adapt and innovate under pressure. But she also saw the fractures that threatened their unity, old rivalries, deep-seated mistrust, and the ever-present specter of greed. "You must stand together," she urged. "Your strength lies in your unity. If you falter, the Council will destroy you." It was a monumental task, but her presence became a catalyst. Nations set aside their differences, pooling resources and knowledge. Scientists and engineers, inspired by Niara's advanced technology, developed new weapons and defenses. But more importantly, her message ignited a sense of purpose in humanity. When the Council's forces arrived, they came in waves, massive constructs of energy and metal, each more formidable than the last. The skies burned as Earth's makeshift defenses clashed with the invaders. Niara fought alongside the humans, her diminished power still formidable. She became a symbol of defiance, her presence rallying soldiers and civilians alike. The battle raged for days, each side suffering heavy losses. But humanity's resilience, their ability to adapt and overcome, turned the tide. They refused to give up, even in the face of overwhelming odds. In the final confrontation, Niara faced the Council's flagship, a colossal vessel powered by the combined will of her former kind. Using the last of her energy, she unleashed a devastating attack, disabling the ship and forcing the Council's retreat. As the dust settled, Earth stood battered but unbroken. Niara, now mortal and fading, looked upon the world she had saved. "You were worth it," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "Never forget that." Her body dissolved into light, her essence merging with the planet she had come to destroy. Her sacrifice became a beacon of hope, a reminder of what humanity could achieve when united. Earth was no longer just a world, it was a promise, a testament to the indomitable spirit of its people. And as they looked to the stars, they knew they were ready to face whatever the universe had in store.